Hey folks, it's Mark with Inbound Revenue. I'm going to walk you through a little junk car campaign here today. First of all, it's going to be a little bit of a case study. It's going to be a little bit of showing you behind the scenes how we do things here. It's going to be showing you if you're running junk cars, why you should be signing up today. And also, I'm going to show you an experiment, the reason you run experiments. And I'm going to show you also that there's variability in how Google Ads campaigns can be run, should be run. And there's times to run certain bid strategies, times to run others, times to use exact match, times phrase, and broad match. There's no one single, let me put that finger up. There's no one single way to do all this. Let's walk through this campaign a little bit here. So I'm going to start here in the month of October, and I'm going to show you the campaign that we have been running here. We've started with this client in about January of this year, so this is October, so this is a mature campaign. You can see that the stats are really solid, 26% click-through rate. Now, one of the reasons that we have that is we're using exact match keywords. We've really honed in on these, so there's not a lot of junk search terms. They're super accurate, they're super on target. I'm gonna have a drink. Drink and drive traffic, baby. So cost per click, yeah, it's reasonably high here in this space, but it's one you can make money in. So in this month, 124 solid conversions. We had a great conversion rate. We shoot for 10 to 30%. We don't turn them down when they're 38.51%. And you see the cost per conversion is $59 here. However, so it's solid campaign. Everything's going good. The client wants more leads. Let me just say that. That's a blanket statement. Every client wants more leads. But the client wants more leads. So we ask ourselves, how can we do this? First of all, let me walk you through this campaign a little bit. I'm going to show you the campaign settings. Now, these are the current campaign settings. This would not be what we started out with. Well, some of these would be. So, for example, we always bid equally. We just leave that default setting. We don't pick a marketing objective. We do that because if you pick a marketing objective, Google starts walking you through different options. Just say no marketing objective. Go ahead and make sure you only are featured on the search network. You really don't want to use search partners anymore. You'd never want to use display network. So make sure you get those settings right. Target your locations. Most important thing here under your location options is to target presence people in or regularly in your included locations unless you want people from all over the place. Now, the exception to that is if you're doing like your travel destination, you're a limo service and people are going to be in New York looking to, to engage your services. There are exceptions to that. Here's the budget. Now, currently we're on maximize conversions. Didn't start out there. You don't want to. We started out probably in manual or max clicks. We also have a target CPA set. We've been adjusting this a little bit. I'll get into that after a bit. And of course, you only want to use assets I provide. Otherwise, Google will start to create assets for you. You don't want that to happen. And you, of course, do not want to use broad match keywords in your entire campaign. You want to control that. So that's the basic settings. Now, inside the campaign, you can see that we've got 4 ad groups. Each one of these ad groups has exact match keywords in, and you can see the click-through rates for these various ad groups. You can see the conversion rates here. I mean, look at that, 57%. I pat myself on the back. No, it only got 4 conversions. 78 leads up here with a 42.62% conversion rate. That's solid. If you look at this, it's like I said, it's all exact match keywords. So people are like, oh, you can't run exact match. Yes, you can. Different use cases depending on the scenario that you're in. So that's a solid campaign, right? But here's the challenge. The client wants more leads, and you can see over here, if you look at the search impression, we're at 90% search impressions. So there's not much more to be gained out of raising the budget or anything else for this campaign because we're already getting the most that we possibly can. So what do? Move forward into November, we create an experiment. I think these are underutilized in Google Ads. You simply create an experiment on an existing campaign to try to test something different, to improve performance, something like that. So we're sending 50% of the traffic to this experiment. This experiment is all broad match keywords. So you'll see that we've got the ad groups here, but in this case, we've got broad match keywords. Now, you'll hear me lots of times, don't use broad match keywords. And that is true when you're starting out a campaign. You use broad match keywords strategically, selectively, when you know that it's at a point in the campaign where you've got a big negative keyword list and you can use them. So let's jump forward, and I'm going to start with a specific date range in November, because I know that's when we started this. I believe that's when we started this experiment. So now if you look at this period in November and look at the campaign results here for the experiment, we're still letting the existing campaign run with 50% of the traffic. Now our click-through rate is much higher up here, down here, because we're targeting all exact match keywords. It's lower up here because we got broad match. There's a lot more keywords. We've had to add some negatives for sure. But look at the conversions. We got 78 conversions. We've got a 33% conversion rate. Nothing to sneeze at. We've lowered the overall cost per conversion considerably, and we're lowering it still. This is from the beginning. We're lowering that still. But the key thing to look at here, we're now only hitting 40% of the impression share. So there's a lot more traffic. We're generating a lot more leads, and we're generating them at a lower cost. That's because this is a mature campaign. We ran exact match. We got lots of data in the campaign, and then we made the switch. Now we're still running this as an experiment. You can tell because the little, TP like symbol here. We'll make a decision and likely make this the winner and send all the traffic there. And then we are also in the process of scaling up budget slowly. So we're moving it up week by week. We're upping the daily budget. We don't want to move it too fast because we don't want to throw money away. So we're upping that daily budget until we get close to 90% here for our search impression share. And the other thing that we did on this campaign, to go back to settings, is we've been playing a little bit with the target CPA. We did have it at 45. We felt maybe that was choking leads a little bit, so we bumped it up to 50. That's still better than 60 or 70, what it was before. And the main objective here for this client is to get more leads out of the existing market area. So they didn't even have an objective of necessarily lowering that lead cost. So lots of times people say, should I do this or should I do that? So much of it depends on what your objectives are, or what your client's objectives are, and the history that you have in the account. But I think this is super solid result to show you. This is junk cars, people that want to sell an existing, car they own and sitting in the backyard or something like that. They can be sold and resold for parts, things of that nature. So if you have any questions about this, drop them in the comments below. It would be awesome if you would hit subscribe. I'd appreciate that. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter, and right here, of course. Thanks very much. You guys have a great day.